I believed in the future of China for this company, which obviously is evidenced in some of the investments we made, including building Disneyland in Shanghai, which is something I'm extremely proud of. That is on a personal highlight reel. It's still doing, by the way, extremely well. I'm concerned that the relationship between ourselves and China is such that growing in China, doing more business there is tougher today and probably will continue to be. So if you're asking me whether I'm the optimist that I once was, I think that some of that optimism has eroded.
And Sarah, Iger did admit as well to me that, you know, if he'd been asked, he would have become ambassador to China. He was not asked, but it was certainly something that I think he was happy to have considered should it have been brought to him. And as I said, probably would have done. Yeah, China important for them. And, you know, not a place right now that is that easy to be doing business over a U.S. company.
Well, for so many U.S. companies, obviously Disney has a lot at stake with Shanghai Disney World and the tough issues that come with free speech, which isn't treated necessarily the same way in China over movies. And I saw the release of The Simpsons omitting one episode that was sensitive when it comes to the streaming service in Hong Kong. It's like Nike, which, you know, we're going to talk about in a little bit. And so many of these other big companies, there's just so much at stake economically. And these companies are getting a little bit of grief from U.S. investors and critics in the U.S. media that say, why aren't you being hard on China? But it's such a tough act because it's not a government going up against a government. It's a company with a lot of profits at stake and an economy that is very intertwined.
Without a doubt. And we talk about it all the time, whether it's Apple or Tesla or Starbucks or Nike, as you mentioned, of course, and Disney as well. By the way, we're going to have a lot more from my interview with Mr. Iger a little bit later in this program, Sarah.
Yeah, looking forward to what he says about streaming. I know you talked to him about that. We'll have it in the 4 o'clock hour.